I'm gonna set my egg timer. That really helps me out knowing when to start winding down, since it appears we have to do these things in 10-minute periods. But in any event, hello everybody out there in YouTube land. This is Rudy Davis again. I'm going to make a video on the Federal Reserve. You say, well, what is your expertise? What do you bring as far as being able to talk about the Federal Reserve? Well, you know, I have a job. I'm just a regular citizen of the United States. I'm not associated with any group, but I have read The Creature from Jekyll Island by Edward Griffin. I have read Capitalism, the Unknown Ideal. I have read various quotes from various ex-presidents of the United States of America. I've read quite a bit on the Federal Reserve. I have a strong opinion about it. I think there's some insidious activity going on, and that this country is being raped and pillaged of its wealth. And as a concerned citizen who wants nothing more than just to get the word out, I'm not looking for anything out of this except to just simply get the word out so that I can live in a country where the government will stop getting bigger and bigger and bigger and infringing more and more on our rights. And if you're a freedom-loving person, and if you enjoy your liberty, and you enjoy being able to work in a society and enjoying the fruits of your labor, you're going to be interested in this too, because this, you know, we all would love to live in a society. And you know, some people have said, why do you get so passionate on your videos? Why can't you just, you know, talk in a regular fashion? And, you know, why does it have to be get passionate about it? You know, there are times to have fun, and I'm all about having fun. I love to have fun just as much as the next guy. I love the fact, I would love to live in a society where the government was not raping and pillaging our wealth, where we didn't have practically every single politician corrupt. I mean, Obama can't seem to find anybody that hadn't cheated on their taxes to nominate for whatever position he's trying to nominate this week. I would love to be in a situation where everybody's ethical and everybody's moral, and our country is going towards the path of freedom and liberty, respect for the individual, hard work, you know, the opposite of socialism and communism. But that ain't the case. So I get very passionate about it. And I'm asking you to consider to get passionate about it. Let me just state, before we get started into the Federal Reserve discussion, it doesn't take a majority to make a difference in society. It does not take a majority. That's the big misperception, that you got to get more than 50%. The biggest bulk, the biggest percentage of people out there are sheeple. They will believe what they're told. They turn on that television full of lies and propaganda that spits the same lies over and over again, and they believe what they're told. We need to get the word out from our perspective so that people that have a brain remaining and able to think for themselves can understand what's going on. Maybe they haven't heard about the Federal Reserve System. Maybe they haven't heard about how these people have taken over the money supply, and we need to get back to sound money, and they don't understand the ramifications that are going on. So, you know, it just takes a small active majority to get the word out, to influence the behavior of a society. And I want to be part of that. I've seen Ron Paul do that quite a bit. Every video I make, I'm going to mention Ron Paul because I have huge admiration for him. I mean, if there was ever a true patriot in America that's trying to do the right thing about returning us to constitutional values, it's Ron Paul. And having said that, let's go back to the Federal Reserve. It was created in 1913. Okay? I think it was done when most of Congress was away on a Christmas vacation. If you read The Creature from Jekyll Island, you'll see that the Federal Reserve was put together by the elite of that time. The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, you know, the elite bankers that had already had all the money, right? They already had all the money. What could they have possibly wanted? They want power, right? They want influence. They want to control your life and my life. And you say, well, you're getting into conspiracy theory discussion, and I'm not a conspiracy. I would ask you to consider that there is evidence all around us about what's happening. You know, the Great Depression of 1929 was not an accident. The Great Depression of 1929 was instigated by actions of the Federal Reserve. And that's very clear, and even reading Ayn Rand's book. If you read her book, I think, start reading on page 79. Common Fallacies About Capitalism was a chapter it was in. But I'm going to use my notes. I'm going to try to get some points across about the Federal Reserve, how I feel about that. The fact that we're on a fiat money supply, it's not backed by gold and silver. If you didn't know, a lot of people don't even know that. Do you know that our money supply is not backed by gold and silver? It's what's called a fiat money supply. You know, I don't have any dollars on me. Let me get a freaking dollar. Just to draw a point here. Well, how about that? I don't even have a dollar in my wallet. Tells you how broke I am. Here we go. Here we go. I found some cash. All right. Okay. There we go. $100 bill. The little Benjamin Franklin. Okay. Do you think this $100 bill is backed by any gold and silver or any asset whatsoever? What makes it valuable? See, the people early in our country's history, they knew the value of money. They knew what it took to make this piece of paper worth something. It used to have gold and silver, and now it's just not even worth the paper it's printed on. They're continuing to devalue the dollar more and more. All of this bailout package is raping and pillaging your wealth and my wealth. When you save your whole life for 401k, and you put your money in there to 401k, and you have that invested in securities based in the United States dollar, this thing is getting more and more and more and more worthless. It is a hidden tax. They are confiscating your wealth. They have control of the money supply. They have the control of the money supply that inevitably puts you and I in debt. The whole system is rigged up to put you in debt, to put me in debt, so that we can become an indentured servant. If you can get somebody to get in debt to you, right, they just get on a little treadmill and they'll work and they'll try to pay their debt off, and their whole life they're working to get out of debt. And it didn't used to be like that. It did not used to be where you're constantly in debt in our American, in just society in general. You would work for something and you would own it, and that was it. You could actually own a piece of property. You don't have to pay up to like $6,000, $7,000 a year for property and insurance, property tax and insurance. We're just renting property now. We don't own anything. You don't even own your car, because in order to drive it on the road, you got to go once a year and pay somebody for a sticker, and you got to pay inspection, and you got to pay taxes on it to get that sticker to let you drive it. So I don't know how many videos this is going to be, but I want to get out as best as I can to the best of my ability. Again, I'm just going to do the best I can and let the chips fall where they may. But I would hope you would understand by the end of this series of video that there is an insidious process going on in America. It's already gone on. This is not the first central bank. The Federal Reserve is not the first central bank we had. Andrew Jackson fought tooth and nail the banking system. He did not want the banking system to occur in America as far as, powers to take over our money supply. He knew that when that happened, that all the institutions that grow up around the banking system will control your life and my life. And it's just another way to tax us. It's another way to put us in debt. It's another way to change us into their servants. I'm going to read some quotes. Looks like I'm running out of time. I hear this so much that I don't even know if it's worth repeating, but you may not have heard this, and this may be the first time you've heard this, so I'm just, how do you think Rome fell? So I'm going to say a bunch of things, and if this is old news to you, go to another channel. If this is new to you, you need to understand how Rome fell. Rome had an incredibly powerful military force. Rome fell from within. It fell from greed and corruption from their leaders. It fell from the fact that their leaders took advantage of their positions to rape and pillage the wealth of the people. That's how this country is going to fall. Because we have nobody with ethics and morality. Nobody's looking out at the interest of the United States people. Anyway, I'm going to turn that off and start a second video.